I'm going to be honest, this framework and formula is boring as hell, but it will get you more sales and more money into your business. And I know this because I do it, but also my clients do it. Like Nero Knowledge, who was able to 2 to 5x his business revenue using this. Gavin Speaks, he was able to generate $3,000 in like 14 days. And I made a separate video about that specifically for him. But in this video, I'm going to show you the 3-step framework that you can follow. And it's super simple, but it's unfortunately it's boring. So if you can endure the pain of doing boring tasks, but it's going to bring you more money so you can have more enjoyment, this is going to be the video for you. And I made it super simple. You can see exactly what it is. Now, the first thing is what I call the CC method. And unfortunately, so many people never do this first step. And it absolutely baffles me. When I start to work with people, this is one of the first things that I get them to do. And the CC method stands for cruise control, the cruise control method. Let's put this into context. When I was working with Nero, which I still do actually, when I was working with Nero for short form videos, we never actually had the CC method. It only came into play with YouTube, but really and truly, this should come into play with any type of content that you're going to make. And it's systemizing every little thing about content. So there's 4 main things when it comes to content. There's the ideation, there's the scripting, and there's the filming, and there's the editing. Now, most people just do this whenever they feel like it. And that's the main issue. They just come up with ideas whenever they feel like it, or when it's time to film because they ran out of videos, they think, oh shit, I need to come up with some ideas. And then it's when they come up with ideas is when they're like, I need to script my video. Oh shit, I need to script it. So they go to script it and they're like, oh shit, when am I going to film this? I'll film it later tonight or something like that. And then editing, they'll be like, oh, I've got to edit this. Some people never edit the video and they just leave it there on their SD card or phone or laptop or whatever. Some people send it off to an editor super cheap and just get the video ruined and over edited or whatever it may be. What you want to do is literally have all 4 of these on cruise control. And by cruise control, I mean you can relax while doing this. You can do this on autopilot, essentially. And what I do is I implement content habits. So every single day, you want to be able to contribute towards your idea bank. Spend 10 minutes every single day contributing towards your idea bank and the development of those ideas. Now, when it comes to scripting, I wouldn't script full-length YouTube videos. One, it's just time consuming, and sometimes the reward is just not very fulfilling. So I would definitely script out the intro, but then put bullet points for the rest of the video. Plus, it makes the authentic you come out. If you make mistakes, you make mistakes. You can cut it out or you can keep it in. Now, filming, I personally would choose a day to film. And then for editing, I would outsource. Unless you actually know how to edit, you can edit yourself, but on a chosen day. So if I was to take you through what this looks like for Nero or Gavin, is they come up with ideas throughout the day and they will develop those ideas inside of Notion, or it could be Apple Notes, whichever is more suitable for you. This is while you go for a walk or when you wake up in the morning, or whether you're just chilling or you're doing cardio, whatever it may be. But then they have a chosen day to record, and that chosen day could vary. I say just choose your most free day. For Gavin, I think it's Sunday. Nero is like Friday or even Thursday. What you want is to just have one day that you most definitely will film. If for some reason you cannot do that day, you either move it a day before or a day after. Or if you have to skip that week, make sure you have a backlog of videos so that you can miss a week of recording but get straight back to it next week. Editing. Everyone that really does YouTube consistently, they have an editor. It's that simple. I suggest you outsource your editing. If you're not at a stage where you can outsource your editing, or maybe you don't want to, you can edit yourself, but choose a chosen day and set yourself 3-4 hours to just edit all the videos that you recorded that week. It will be that That's the easiest way to do it. Honestly, it's just the easiest way. And then that way, it's this makes content super boring, by the way, because it removes the spontaneous aspect of, I feel like recording this today, but it's not your recording day, so you have to hold off and wait. This is why I say it's boring, because you've just systemized something that was originally meant to be a creative thing, but now you've made it into more marketing, boring business type thing. Now, it's not a bad thing. It's not. Especially if you've come onto social media or YouTube specifically to make money, this is going to be exactly what you need. And it's exactly what 99% of creators do. Now, let's move on to the minimal viable effort. That's what MVE stands for. And to put this into perspective, let's say there's a scale and it goes from high to low. Now, let's put this into an analogy. This is going to be fun. So, imagine you're a guy or a girl, or you're a person, and you start dating someone and they put in the most effort, right? They go all out. They're buying you flowers, they're taking you on dates, you're doing this, you're doing that. But then 2 months later, what happens 2 months later? 2 months later, the effort slowly drops and you start noticing it. They answer their phone less, their replies are slower. You're going on less dates, you're doing things less, you're seeing each other less. And you're starting to, you're worrying, you're like, this is not what I'm used to. The standards are dropping. I liked this person because of the way they treated me this way or that way. And you're no longer receiving that same treatment. You're not going to stick around. It's simple as that. And if that happened the other way around, the other person wouldn't stick with you if you did that. So why on earth would you come onto YouTube and you're like, I'm going to do the most, I'm going to have the highest edited videos, put my scripts in. 2 months later, you're not seeing a return and you're looking at YouTube like, you're not really giving me anything. I'm putting so much effort into these videos, you're not giving me anything. You're going to feel cheated. You're going to feel cheated and you're going to be like, forget it. And you're not going to show up for YouTube anymore. So essentially, what you want to do is start with your minimal viable effort. This is something that you can execute easily. Some people need scripts, some people need bullet points, some people can freestyle and still provide the value needed. You need to figure out what that is for you. Some people perform better with a whiteboard, some people perform better sitting down, some people perform better while recording on a walk or recording outside, or maybe they perform better in a podcast setting. Whatever it may be for you, you need to do that. And again, just strip your videos to bare bones. Literally make it bare bones, especially your first few videos. Don't go all out. So if you're making it bare bones and you prefer sitting down, you're going to sit down and you're going to talk to the camera, almost as if it's a live stream and whatever you say has to stay in the video, which it technically doesn't, but pretend it is, and you just do one take. Or let's say you have a habit of morning walks, which my client Nia actually did. And what happened is we implemented, or I said, okay, you know what you're going to talk about. Why don't you just record your videos while you're on a morning walk? At first, she was like, I could try it, but I normally do my makeup and all of this for videos, which girls typically do. Eventually, she tried it, and that video took off for her. It was amazing. Literally minimal viable effort. Something that she does on a daily basis, she was able to just record that while speaking. Which is why I always say, if you like going to the gym or you do cardio, you get your steps in, you can literally set up your camera while you're on your walking pad, or maybe camera while you're in the gym. I don't know how the audio would sound. I actually haven't tried it. But you can do that and literally record a video. And then after 2 weeks of doing that, you can increase the quality. Then increase it again. And what you'll find is sometimes you'll get more views once you increase, but there will be a point where your views plateau. I don't know how to spell plateau. Whoa, crazy. Anyway, your views plateau. And that means you can either stay there where it's plateaued, or you can go back down where you're doing less effort, but you're getting the same amount of views as you was when you had more effort. And again, you can come back to the CC method and you can increase your effort based on any of these 4 things. Me personally, if you're going to increase effort in the ideation stage and your scripting stage. Filming, not so much. Editing, not so much. And that's why you see videos that are like super bland and boring editing wise. But the idea is so interesting that you have to watch it. Now, that is literally your minimum viable effort. Again, Nero did this, Nia did this, Gavin did this. And if you notice, I'm doing it too, right? Now, let's move on to number 3, the blue egg. Now, this is something that Nero did. Again, this is something that Nia did. Again. Now, if we were to focus on Nia for a second, she literally made herself the blue egg. And one thing that a lot of people do wrong is they see someone blow up and they think, oh, that person blew up because, for example, Nero's using a whiteboard. That person blew up because he's using a whiteboard. So what did? They all run and grab a whiteboard and they think I'm going to blow up because he did a whiteboard. They don't blow up because the whiteboard isn't the reason that they blew up. You see a person, Nia, walking while talking, and you think, oh, the video blew up because she went on a walk. Contributed, 100%. The whiteboard contributed, the walks contributed, but that's not the reason the video blew up. That person sitting down talking with amazing edits. It's the editing that made him blew up. I'm gonna go get an editor that can copy that style, which you see a lot of people do. You know, the Alex Hormozi style, the Iman Ghazi style, the whatever style. But then they don't blow up. And people are always wondering why. It's because you're not using the blue egg. Now, what the blue egg is, instead of externalizing your power to something else, like a whiteboard and thinking, this is the reason that I'm going to blow up, and you're stroking it and you're in love with it, or your editor's the reason you're going to blow up, or the reason you're doing a different format is the reason that you're going to blow up. None of that is the reason you're going to blow up. It can all contribute, 100%. It will all contribute. But the reason that you're going to blow up is because of you. People never recognize that the power to blowing up on social media is literally you. One, you're trying to build a personal brand, but you're externalizing your power to something else. How does that even make sense? And by you, specifically, I'm talking your story. Or anything that makes you different. And a lot of people always say, they sit and think, I don't know what makes me different. It's literally what you are like in your most natural state. What you're like when you're around your friends, your boys. Why do your friends like you? Why do they chill with you? You know, maybe you're funny. For Nero, he showed up in a do-rag, which a lot of people don't do. He speaks about things that a lot of people don't speak about, especially where he comes from, what he looks like, etc. Nia, she told her story. She incorporated things that she's also good at. So different could also be good at. Drawing. Walks. Oh, she also goes for runs, but I guess like you can't run and do a video. That's crazy, right? Now, Nia's not going to suddenly wake up and not be able to draw, which is why I told her she should definitely grab a whiteboard, because like, if she could draw, it's just aesthetically pleasing, right? And then walks. If that's something that she does on a daily basis, not everyone goes for a morning walk. You'll be surprised. Sometimes I miss it. Some people go for theirs. I go for a morning walk and I don't see people on morning walks. I see people just rushing to work. So, like, all these things that you may think is normal for you could be the thing that's making you unique. Maybe it's the way you talk, the accent that you have, the story that you have. Maybe, you know, your philosophies are different. Jammed. Maybe your philosophies are different. Maybe your explanations are simple. I was going to put easy. Maybe your explanations are simple. Maybe your story is just so compelling. Maybe you actually went through some serious struggle to see light at the end of the tunnel. All these things make you the blue egg. And essentially, being a blue egg is being something that stands out. It's almost like the purple cow or your remarkable factor. It's things that people will look at you and think, wow. And I actually got this from a book, Contagious. There was a blender company, I forgot the blender company, but they started a YouTube series called Will It Blend, and they just blended around like a bunch of random things. And that series went viral because they were blending things that normally would make a blender break. And because of that, people are like, whoa, that is so cool. If you follow these 3 steps, you will definitely generate more sales, more money for your business. Even though it's boring, you take away the creative factor, you do things that are just simple that you're thinking, man, this is boring. I'm not sure if I'd watch this. But if it's valuable and the idea is good enough, people will watch it. And if you differentiate yourself from everyone else in your space or everyone else in your competition, people will watch you instead of them. And it could literally be as simple as you make people blow up on YouTube by posting less videos, or you're a business coach and you help people generate more money. You help people generate more money in less hours. Simple things like that. Instead of doing one-to-one, maybe you focus on group, but you make it sound new and unique. All these different things. And since you made it to the end of the video, if you're still here, if you want to work with me one-to-one, I'll leave a link in the description to do that. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video.